Hey everybody, it's Margo, and today in this one I just want to cover some things about hitting level 120 in the Battle for Azeroth beta. Now, first things first, I want to point out that there's still a lot of content missing, so don't take this as an exact representation of what it is to hit 120. I just wanted to share the things that I've noticed, things that I encountered, just a lot of stuff about leveling that I think are cool and worth sharing. So let's just begin. To start off, leveling time and how it feels. I really enjoyed the atmosphere. I haven't been to the Zandalar zones yet, but all of the Kul'Tiras zones, I've really enjoyed them. The art team did an amazing job with this expansion. There's a lot of places that are still devoid of any kind of music because it's not implemented yet, but the ones that do, they have great soundtracks. Overall, this is just a really nice looking expansion, I gotta say. Now, for the time it took to hit level 120, I spent 25 hours reaching the cap. So exactly 1 day and 1 hour of gameplay. However, you have to count into that, I spent a lot of time just standing around AFKing. I would log in, do some stuff, and then I would just AFK until eventually my character logged out and stuff like that. And a lot of quests weren't tracking properly, so I had to search for them myself. Couldn't just look on the map. You had to actually go out and find it. And those are just minor bugs to do with beta. It's expected. I'm not complaining about it. They just weren't tracking properly, and I'm including that in as one of the reasons my time took that long. I'd say once this reaches live, though, and the majority of bugs are fixed, I could see people getting 120 in 14 to 16 hours, easily. Maybe even less if they tunneling through it. Some might argue that's not long enough, and others might argue it's not fast enough. I think it just depends on which side of the leveling you're on. I think it's fine where it's at, because even though it's only a few hours to reach level 120, and I would kind of like it to be longer, you have to realize that it's 110 to 120. It isn't the whole leveling process. To somebody who's just starting out at the game, 1 to 120 can be a pretty daunting experience. So if they made every expansion last as long as it did in Vanilla WoW, for example, somebody who's coming in at level 1 trying to level 120, it would take them literally months to do it. So that's kind of why the leveling process is so short every expansion. Another thing that might speed up the entire leveling process and worth mentioning is the PvP and PvE sharding system they're talking about implementing. So the way it'll work is you can either flag yourself for PvP or you can keep yourself permanently on PvE. It doesn't matter server that you're on. It's just something you can turn on and off. I don't think it's currently implemented in the beta. I couldn't find anything about it. It would be nice if I could find it, but the way Ian wants to make it is if you're flagging yourself for PvP, you'll get special rewards. And you can turn it off at any time you'd like. But you'll just flag yourself in your faction's capital city. You have to talk to a special guy to do it. And he said that you might get bonus XP as one of the listed rewards, possibly. And you might get more gold from world quests, things like that. And it's to encourage people to do world PvP is what the point of the system is. Now, I know a lot of people don't care about PvP at all, right? So they're going to keep themselves mostly flagged for PvE. However, I could see this beneficial for maybe like the first week. And the only reason I'm listening is because, you know, if you're watching this and it's the first week, it might be beneficial to just put the PvP option on, because not many people are going to be doing PvP content anyways. You have to be level 120 to go to the other factions' islands. And while there's going to be neckbeards out there like me that get to level 120 in the very first day, the vast majority of players won't. It'll probably be a week or two before we start seeing mass majority hitting level 120, because not many people have that much time to play per day, things like that. So if you flag yourself for PvP for the first week, you'll be able to get bonus rewards. You'll get all the bonus XP, things like that. Whenever this system is actually implemented, I can't wait to see what kind of rewards it'll get, and I'll test it out. It'd be really nice. It's just an option. Thought it was worth mentioning. Could really speed up your leveling process. Anyways, let's move on. Gear-wise, where did I end up upon reaching level 120? Well, as soon as I hit level 120, I was 270 item level. I've thus managed to gain a few item levels because I went on to complete all the quests that I currently could do. It's worth noting that every zone will reward you with a piece of 300 item level Azeroth armor after you've completed the zone's storyline. Much like in Legion, how you could get an 800 item level piece from completing the zone, and that item level was at any level, it didn't scale like the rest of the gear. Well, the same thing. It's a 300 item level armor piece, regardless of what level you are when you complete the quest. I could only do one, though, at the moment, but I imagine in a build or two on the beta that this will be fixed, and I'll be able to finish all three. So you will have 3 slots of 300 item level Azeroth armor upon reaching level 120, and all other various pieces will be 270 to 300 item level, depending on if the quest item itself upgraded to blue or epic. Now, these probably sound like low item levels, but for comparison, the item level of Mythic and Taurus gear will be level 240 to 250, with the exception of Amanthal's Legendary, which scales to 280, and all other legendaries cap at 260. So by level 120, the majority of all the gear you are wearing, including your artifact weapon, will be replaced entirely. Maybe, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 pieces left, but the majority of everything is going to get overhauled with green and blue gear. The leveling process itself was decently smooth. However, as it progressed, I got the impression that I was becoming weaker and not stronger. Monsters seemed to scale very harshly from the jump from 119 to 120. I feel like by live, this will probably be adjusted, but at the moment, it was a pretty serious difference. The only way I can put it is at 120, I felt like I was doing almost half the damage I was before. I was hitting higher, my numbers were higher, but the monster's HP scaled so greatly, I feel like I ended up hitting much lower, if that makes any sense. The monsters themselves were definitely hitting higher, though. I'd say about double their damage, so I felt like I was doing half, and the monsters themselves felt like they were doing double. If I wasn't a pet class, because I'm a warlock, I really could see myself struggling to kill just random junk. So I assume this will get tweaked, but if it's not, it'll definitely make world quests pretty challenging content on launch. And the last thing, the Garrison table is currently available. While most rewards don't seem to be implemented yet, we can see a few basic ones. This opens up as you quest and level up and stuff. It's kind of like your order hall, but not exactly. It's your campaign, war campaign, but it's kind of like the order hall campaign, so similar. The rewards from doing this mission table right now are artifact power and reputation rewards. That's what you can see right now. So just the generic stuff like in Order Hall Legion. So nothing crazy from that yet, but I'm sure they'll have gold rewards, things like that later down the line. Anyways, I hope this was useful. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll try to answer them, but remember, a lot of stuff just simply isn't implemented. That's why I don't have a lot to talk about. There just really isn't a whole bunch of content there yet. I'll keep you up to date as time goes on. There will definitely be more to see as more opens up. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.